29th of November, Rabbi Levitt, Pele, Yoetz.
Okay. Let's see. What's he got here?
Okay, so we're still on Gigulot.
Who knows where we got up to?
Right.
I
The
think
section
we're on
Gigulot,
38. The
Second-
paragraph starts with additionally.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gilgal. We're up to Gilgal.
Gilgalot.
Yechiel, did you get my email? I sent you an email last night with the link to the book and the link to the web page. Okay, great.
Okay.
Sorry, where are we?
Page
138.
138.
Thank you.
Additionally. So, oh yes, as a matter of fact, Roy wasn't here yesterday, but I remembered him yesterday because we were once talking about this, that there could be a Gilgal of a person, not just another person, but and not just another animal, but according to this, even in the form of and not just a plant. That's what he says over here. So that was what, remember what Roy said that once, and here we have the Pele Yoetz. Our Sefer is confirming that that is the case, that there could be such a thing like that. Lo Aleinu. Okay.
Roy, another mazel tov for you today. We'll give you another one.
Another Mazel Tov
For Roy.
for Roy.
Yeah, continue. It was a big party, right?
Oh, the party. How was the party, Roy?
It was very nice, thank you. But
Good.
that wasn't yesterday. Yesterday was a photo shoot that we couldn't have on Shabbos.
Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. Very good. Rabbi Nachas. Zvat
Nachas for
Hashem.
everybody. Thank you. Everybody should have nachas.
Amen.
Family.
Amen.
We had a
Okay.
grandson. We have a mother talk too.
Oh,
Oh, yeah? What's the Mazel Tov?
My son and grandson, my son and they brought they had a good boy.
Oh, Mazel
Oh,
Tov.
Mazel Tov.
Ah,
Mazel tov.
Wow,
Mazel Tov.
very nice, Yechiel.
Wow.
good.
Should have a lot of nachas from him. Bezrat Hashem.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Very good. Okay. Well, everybody should have Simchas Keseder.
Amen.
Bezrat Hashem. Okay, so we call upon Mayor to start off.
Oh, okay. Says additionally, as a result of the belief in reincarnation, a person needs to be concerned lest that in his prior existence, he increased impurity and guilt, and he has the responsibility to rectify everything that he corrupted. Therefore, he must strive to do many mitzvot, good deeds, self-afflictions, fasts, and refinements. Even if the entire world tells him that he is a righteous man, and he knows that his works are pure and upright, he should be in his own eyes like a wicked man. Well known is the statement of our sages from Nidah, that this is what they say to a person when he emerges from his mother's womb. One of the reasons is because of reincarnation. A man does not know what preceded him or transpired during earlier reincarnations, and certainly not in our generations, since Kabbalists already revealed to us that the majority of the people today are reincarnations. Few are the souls that are coming for the first time. For this reason, it is befitting that we should be humbled, for we have fallen very low. No one knows who is really, no one knows who we really are today and what within us needs to be corrected, unlike the situation in previous eras during the time of the Arizal. Therefore, it is proper for a person to do as much as possible and to always be in his own eyes as a sinner. Perhaps he may find favor. Wow.
Wow.
Isn't that a tough thing to walk around with, that you
Yeah.
have to be considered as a sinner?
Yeah, this is this is like we always say, and Alan knows this because he's a avid listener like myself. This is what we say on the hotline, the Life of Bitochen. We say that you know, if it works for you, you know, it's obviously a we cannot deny the fact that it is a legitimate derech in Avodas Hashem, because here we're learning that from the Pele Yoetz, this is what he is, and Pele Yoetz means in English the wondrous advisor. He's advising that we should do this. So obviously it was something that used to work, and maybe as late as 200 years ago it did used to work. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that it's the only derech in Avodas Hashem, and that it's necessarily the derech for us today to do like this, what he's suggesting us to do. How do we know what it is that we should do? We seek direction. We seek direction from our teachers, and and they advise us. And the advice today that seems to be coming from most all circles is not what we're reading over here, at least in this particular case, because the point is that in those generations they were very, very strong. They were very strong, durable, and they could view themselves in that way and still walk around being upbeat and happy and freilich, and because that's the way a person has to walk around, and because like that he's going to be able to accomplish. And so it was just a concept. It was just a concept that they used in order to maximize their avodas Hashem. But if a person is going to think to himself, oh, you know, I'm no good. Oh, I'm a sinner. Oh, I'm good for nothing. If he's really going to believe that that is really what he is, it's hard to imagine that he's going to be able to achieve and accomplish in avodas Hashem. Yeah, we shouldn't. Certain we have to know how to use these different types of eitzes, and it could be in our case that this eitz would not work. Well, it won't work, and if it doesn't work, so then we don't use it. We ask our das Torah, and we use the eitzes that do work for us, and so that's the point. That's the point. But the bottom line is always the same. The bottom line is that we use the eitzes that we need to use in order to maximize our potential, and our potential is avodas Hashem. That's our goal.
And Rabbi, one of the things he says is that if you're feeling down, you know, even though you should be humble, you blow yourself up like an elephant. So that
Right. Right. So So because we know today, this was perhaps something that wasn't so common back then, but today everybody knows, based upon what we see, that there's so many people, unfortunately, who are just very very down and very feeling low. And to a person like that, to tell the person, you should feel like you're a sinner, he's going to really be totally zerbrochen. He's going to be totally, laid out. It's not something to tell a person like that. So that's the story over here. So that's the story. Okay. And now, let's see who we go to now.
I
Yeah.
just say, this idea of which in the Eastern religions it's called karma. The idea that there are things from a former life that are affecting you in this life. It's a two-sided coin, because it can also be a basis for rationalizing your problems and not facing them and saying, well, it's my karma, what could I do?
No, we don't believe in that. We believe in free will. We don't believe in that.
But the
We do
Peleoic,
believe
I
that
think,
there are
do believe that.
we do believe that there are circumstances. A person is born, every person is born with different circumstances and abilities and talents. But we believe that they can be overcome with Hashem's help, because we believe in Hashem, who is who can do everything and anything. And so there's never a situation where a person should have to say, oh, I won't be able to do that. Oh, that's not possible for me, or I just couldn't help it, or it was my just my nature that caused me to do that, and there's nothing that I can do about it. There's no such thing. Okay. Okay. Roy, would you like to continue?
Even though there is no one among us who knows or recognizes the former reincarnations, one thing we do know from the Holy Zohar, Bereshit 92a, someone who dies without children, present party excluded, and his wife performs Levirate marriage. She marries the brother of her deceased husband. The firstborn son, who she bears, possesses the soul of the deceased. His brother becomes his father, and his wife becomes his mother. It is proper for his father and acquaintances of the deceased to inform him of his prior shortcomings, which were known to them, in order that the son should rectify everything that he can.
Okay.
So who is who when they were and now?
We had this concept when we were learning Megillus Rus.
Yeah.
That from the Alshich discussed this this concept. That was a we discussed this at length. Okay. And we go on to Alan to continue.
Furthermore, as a result of the belief in reincarnation, a person will know that the judgment of Hashem is true. The rock whose action is perfect because all of his paths are just. A man will not complain about divine treatment, as is the custom of several ignoramuses. When they experience terrible suffering, they open their mouth towards heaven and say, Master Universe, what is my wrongdoing? What is my sin? Have my sins and wrongdoings overtaken the entire world? Why are you doing this to your servant? Would only that they be wise and understanding. From Devarim 32:4. The rock whose action is perfect because all of his paths are just. The God of trust who bears no injustice. He is righteous and upright. He gives to each man according to his ways and the fruit of his actions. He is the master of all deeds. If in this stage of reincarnation, his actions are pure and upright, the suffering that he endures is for his previous reincarnation. The Kabbalists revealed that the torment of Eo, who was perfect, upright, God-fearing, and avoiding all wrongdoing, was a result of his prior reincarnation, who was Terach, the father of Abraham. This also provides an explanation for the great suffering of small children who are barely weaned and the death of young people. For the sins of youth, Hashem decrees that one's wife should give birth to a soul which is obligated for the death penalty in order to rectify those wrongdoings. Tangentially, he and his wife find their redemption in their grief for his death. Also, due to reincarnation, matters of marriage partners and death are determined. Everything is from an amazing wisdom of the omniscient being, perfected in measure, weight, and volume. When one reads in the works of the Kabbalists who discover the matters of reincarnation, he will see with his eyes, his heart will understand, and he will say, how great are your actions, O Hashem, and how amazing is your love for us, as you have designed the world so that no soul is totally lost. May the name of Hashem be blessed and exalted above all blessings and praise. Amen.
Wow.
So how does one do
Amazing.
tshuva for sins in a past life?
What's the question? What's
How does
You
one
just-
do tshuva for a sin in the past life? You don't know what you did, so how can you do tshuva?
oh, that's what he says. So you do as much tshuva as you can. That's exactly what he said. Since you don't know, so you try to do tshuva in as much as you can in every area. We have to try to perfect ourselves as much as we possibly can, and that will be regarded as a tshuva, a rectification for a previous Gilgul, even though we ourselves were never let's say that we ourselves were never really remiss in the matter, but we are just continuing to improve in that particular area that we're focusing on, and rising to higher and higher levels of perfection in that particular area, and that's all going to be a great rectification for our neshama in a previous life if it was remiss in that particular area. But as you say, we have no way of knowing. We have no way of knowing. I mean, that's it. But it counts. It counts as it's a great rectification. And he's saying that this, I guess, is one of the reasons he didn't speak this out. But I suppose this is one of the reasons why Hashem made such a thing as Gilgulim, so that all the things that need to be fixed up will get fixed up eventually. But I found very encouraging his last remark that he said over here, that how great are your actions, Hashem, How amazing is your love for us, as you have designed the world so that no soul is totally lost. Because that's what we see from this concept of Gilgulim, that even if in a certain life, a neshama did not have a very successful life in terms of avodas Hashem, Torah, and mitzvahs, but it's not lost, because it can return the neshama in another life, and in that life, the neshama can do mitzvahs, can learn a lot of Torah, and so the neshama it's the same neshama in a different life. So that neshama is being raised. That neshama is being nurtured and rectified, and like that, the whole plan comes out according to the plan, that there is no such thing as a neshama that is lost. No such thing. And that's a very, very encouraging thought for all of us.
We're talking about exclusively Yiddish neshamas, or from the whole world?
You want to know, what do you want to know? Whether there's Gilgulim of other people
Yeah,
other than Jews?
if all of this, all of what we're talking about applies also to everybody else in the world.
Well, here he discussed the fact that the Kabbalists said that they revealed that Eov was a Gilgul of Terach.
Right.
Now, Terach he's not a Jew.
Mm-hmm.
He was an Obed Avodah Zarah. He was a very big chassid of Nimrod, who caused the whole world to rebel against Hashem. So, but now Eov, there actually are different views, I believe, in Chazal about whether he was. The main view, of course, is that he was Jewish. The main view is that he was Jewish. And so, according to that view, that he was Jewish, here you have a Terach, who in that life he was Terach, and in the further on, many generations later, he was that neshama came into the body of Eov. So that's quite interesting that it's the same neshama. According to the way we're explaining this idea with the Gilgul, the later generation is a different person. It's a different physical body, but it's the same neshama. That's how the rectification is occurring, because the neshama is living a different life, and he's getting another chance. It's getting a second chance, and sometimes a third chance. And maybe even more than that. I don't know. But so this is yeah, I mean, he didn't it would seem that it would work for every human being that has an neshama. Kol neshama asher ruach ba'apo.
And everybody's neshama is treated in the same way.
Well, it could be. I'm saying it could be that there is this feature of Gilgulim for all neshamas, not just Nishmas Yisrael.
I'm sorry, I meant to ask, I used the wrong term. Are all Gegulim treated in the same way?
Are they treated in the same way?
I assume.
Each one is treated in the way that it needs in order for its rectification. This seems the way I'm understanding it is that the whole concept of Gilgul is in order to make sure that that no soul is totally lost. It's like there's not such a thing like that. There's no such thing. And when we talk about chorus, lo aleinu, that's that would seem to be it's a temporary situation which is going to be fixed up in a later Gilgul. A neshama in one generation could be chayav chorus, and then that neshama, it would seem that that neshama could come back in a different generation through this concept of Gilgul, and make up for the life that the neshama lived in the previous life. So is that neshama chayav chorus now? It got fixed up.
So now I'd like to know how many of us are wondering now, who were we? No, I'm serious.
Very good.
That you have to ask the Arizal.
And who are we going to?
The Arizal was Hashem revealed to the Arizal many things. There's a, and he's mentioned this to Pele Yoetz. He's a avid chassid of the Arizal, and he knows many things about the Arizal, what the Arizal said, and different stories with the Arizal. But he says that but there's nobody, there's no one amongst us, and he's talking 200 years ago. There's no one amongst us who knows or recognizes who we were in a previous, that we were this person or that person in a previous generation. This is not revealed to us, and that of course is Hashem's chesed that is not revealed to us. I would assume it's all for the best. But it's a concept that we see over here, and it has the potential to be very encouraging and empowering. And that's what it's. If it does do that, so then by all means keep it in mind. Okay. Now, having discussed about Gilgulim and about Eov, who is a Jew, and Terach, who is not, we get to the subject of Ger. And now we ask Lou to start off. This looks like a very interesting section over here. Okay.
It's interesting that the English title says temporal existence / converts.
Yeah.
Whereas Ger just means convert. I wonder where they got that from.
Oh, he's going to tell you in the first thing that he says over here.
All right. It is written, we are strangers on the land. And it is written, for I am a stranger with you. A fundamental principle in Judaism is that a person should not pursue luxuries, and he should not be meticulous about food, clothing, and a fancy house. Rather, one should be like a traveler who lodges on the road and is satisfied with whatever comes his way. His singular objective should be the world to come, for it is his true home. Even regarding that which he must obtain from matters in this world, his objective should be that they serve as a preparation to gain the pathways of life, and all of his actions should be for the sake of heaven. He should not do more than that which is absolutely necessary for the sake of heavenly goals. He should not allow his evil inclination to beguile him with visions of vanity and deception, even though it is the way of the evil inclination to portray all of the luxuries of this world as if they are absolute necessities for the service of God. However, it requires profound wisdom to discern between that which is necessary and that which is merely a luxury, as well as not to follow the advice of one's evil inclination until his good inclination comes and investigates. I don't see how that answered my question about temporal existence.
Okay,
I see. What he's saying is our existence is temporal. We should be like a stranger. We shouldn't pursue objects. Is that
because
what
we
you're
really
saying?
have, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
In other words, if we think about what the word ger actually means, ger, the actual meaning of the word doesn't mean a convert. It means a stranger. When Avram Avinu approached the Bnei Ches to inquire where he could bury Sarah, he said to them, "I'm what was the language that he said over there?
Stranger and
What's the pasuk say?" Dodge the wires here. It's the beginning
Ger
of
v'toshav anochi imachem. Ger v'toshav. It's pasuk daled in Kaf Gimel.
Gimel pasuk daled. Yeah, ger v'toshav. Rashi says, ger v'toshav, ger me eretz acheres. I am a ger, like a stranger from a different land. And this yeshavti machem, and I have made my my dwelling place amongst you. He's not a he's not. So that's what the word ger means. He's from a different place. He's from a different place. That's the way Rashi explains it. Onkelos says, interesting, Onkelos translates it as dayar. V'sosav ana imochem. He's translated in terms of dayar is somebody who's a a dweller, and I think the implication is a temporary one. But that's what it doesn't really have anything. The word itself we see is used in the Chumash not to describe somebody who is converted to Judaism. So the first thing he's talking about is that this concept of being a ger should apply to every person. He should regard himself, so to speak, as a stranger who's come from a different land. His neshama has come down from the Kisei HaKavod. Hashem put him down in this world into a goof, and he's supposed to have a journey here in this world and accomplish what he needs to accomplish, and then he's going to go back home. So he's here temporarily, and he's a stranger to this place. Then we're talking about the neshama. That's the essential identity of the person, is his neshama, not his goof. Okay. So that's the first idea that he's conveying to us in this entry of ger, and we have to live as though we're here temporarily on our way back to our home, Tachas Kisei HaKavod in Olam Haba. Okay. So, and now a round of applause for page 139. Wow.
But we haven't actually read, have we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on 140 now.
Oh,
Now we're on 140. We are constantly progressing in this sefer. It's tremendous. Okay, now we go to Alan. Or everybody read yet? Everybody already read?
So,
Yes.
Also, we go back to Meir,
Go back to Mayor. Okay.
please.
In truth, the halachic decisors, Shulchan Aruch and Yoredea, have ruled in regard to the halacha that one may not lend money to a non-Jew with interest except an amount necessary for his basic existence, that nowadays everything is considered basic existence. This is due to the increase in taxes, tariffs, dowries, and other expenses. Nevertheless, I maintain that in the way man wants to go, heaven directs him. A person who makes his work primary and toils to be rich with all kinds of strategies and devices to fill his storehouses, the Holy One, blessed be he, sends him large expenses. As a result, he thinks that he did well and toiled with his 10 fingers to earn great profits. If he had not done so, he would have to have been able to cover those costs. The soothsayers do not understand that if only he had earned a lesser amount, the Holy One, blessed be he, would have sent him only smaller expenses. If a person wants to establish his Torah as primary for the most of the day, and his work is secondary, he is guaranteed that his bread will never be lacking. God has already promised that he gives bread to all flesh, for his kindness is everlasting. As it is written in Tehillim, you open your hand and satisfy the will of every living being. To the extent which a man suffers effort, pain, and toil until he is sometimes driven from this world and the next, is because he wants to pursue luxuries and sensual pleasures. They are the plague of man, and this is the evil of man, which he eats the fruit in this world, toil, anger, and rising early after eating the bread of frustration, and the principle remains for the world to come. the nature of this world no longer exists, and now they eat their portion, the sins, transgressions, loss of Torah, and mitzvot. Wow.
etc.
Okay.
Hmm.
Hmm. Okay. Oh, we got 3 minutes left. So,
What does it mean he's driven from this world and the next? I can see he's driven from this world, but what do you mean? What does it mean? He suffers pain. He suffers effort, pain, and toil, and he's driven from this world and the next because he wants to pursue luxuries and sensual pleasures.
well, so if he's totally he's not involved in Torah and mitzvahs, so we understand that he's going to be a poor man in Olam Haba. That we understand. The Chiddush is what the Beli Yoetz is saying. He's driving himself out of this world too, because that's the story. I'm not going to tell you the story now. We don't have time to tell the story. Just the main point is that in order to amass this wealth, even if he is successful in doing so, but he's killing himself in order to do it, and he's up at 5 o'clock in the morning. He doesn't go home from the office until 12 o'clock at night, and he's agitated the whole day about making more and more money, and that's not a life either. So he's not involved in Torah and mitzvahs, and he has aggravation and disappointments that he didn't get more profits in this world. So he doesn't have this world either, really. So he's driven from both worlds. So
It's 11:29 and 11:29.
okay, we're gonna do tshuva for a previous life and send Mayor off on time today, 1 minute early even.
Okay. Thank you.
Happy Hanukkah.
Thank
All
you,
the best to
Rabbi.
Mayor.
Okay. Be well.
You too,
Have
Mayor.
a good Hanukkah.
Have Freilich and Hanukkah. Yes.
A freilich ner rishon.
Amen, amen, amen.
Enjoy. And a freilich and Hanukkah and a mazel tov once again to Rabbi Chiel on the birth of his new grandson.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov,
Ach, Yiddish
Yechiel.
and nachas.
Amen.
Okay.